Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you missed my intro video, I would definitely go ahead and check that out. But no worries, I will go ahead and sum up everything right now. My name is Brittany Carey. I am a life and health coach. On this channel, I'll be talking a lot about things like anxiety and depression. Those are just some things that I have been struggling with over the past 10 to 15 years. Just a disclaimer though, I am not a health professional. I am not certified. I have no training on this. I have no license. I am going to be going off of things that I have learned and experienced over the years battling with my own personal journey. So without further ado, let's get into the video. In today's video, we'll be talking about long-term goals that you can set for your own anxiety and or depression journey. Now, you can apply these to either anxiety or depression, and if you have both, you can definitely apply it to both like I have. Now, we're just going to be talking about 3, but we can definitely work on more later on in the future. So now I wouldn't work on these in the midst of an anxiety attack or in the midst of a really deep depressive state, just because I feel like that's a lot on your mind when it's already working overtime dealing with your mental health issues. So the 3 that we'll be talking about is to find your trigger, find your thing, and find your why. Let's go a little bit more into each of those. So the first goal that we're going to be talking about today is finding your trigger. I know it sounds weird and it can definitely be scary when you're in the middle of it, when you're actively searching for things that are going to get your anxiety or depression levels a little high, make your heart beat a little faster. But it is very important to identify your triggers so that you can better handle them when they're actually happening and when you're in the midst of doing whatever that is. And don't be discouraged or weirded out if you have a strange trigger. You can't really dictate what your triggers are. You can't tell your body, oh, that's a weird trigger, I don't want that one anymore. It just doesn't really work like that, unfortunately. That would be super amazing if you could kind of just like pinpoint what you want your triggers to be and just, keep those in a little bubble, but unfortunately it just doesn't really work that way. So you have to identify your triggers, and some examples of that could be either going to a grocery store, getting on a big highway, getting on a plane, seeing certain family members that you may have had a weird or difficult dark past with. All of those are triggers. Maybe you have some that you've never even heard of before, and that's totally fine. You have to be patient with yourself on this journey, but especially when finding your triggers. So you have to really identify those and take those on head on when you're ready. This is something that you really shouldn't rush into. There's no reason to do it. This is something that you should really just focus on getting right rather than getting it done as fast as possible. So that was the first trigger. The second trigger is finding your thing. And I didn't know what else to call it besides a thing. I went over a bunch of different words, but none of them really made sense to me. So we're going to go with thing. And your thing could be whatever gets you through those dark times in your either depression or anxiety or both. So they could be breathing, water, stepping outside for some fresh air, working out, a dietary supplement, whatever gets you through those like dark times or an anxiety attack. Some of mine are breathing, a dietary supplement that I take. Working out is a big one for my depression. When I first started on this journey, that was the first thing I started doing, and it really helped my depression. Some could be stepping outside. That's still one that I work on when I'm feeling really depressed. I just step outside for some fresh air, and it really changes my thought process. Whether that's because like you're staring at the same walls all the time, and when you step outside, that could really change your perspective on a lot of things. But for me, that really helped with my depression. Breathing is a huge thing that I just started doing as of recently that has really helped with my anxiety. There are a lot of studies that have shown how breathing, intentionally breathing can really help with anxiety. We can work on that later on down the line, or you can simply Google search breathing techniques for anxiety and you'll have a plethora of ideas to start working on right away. So those could be a few things. And the last goal that we're going to be talking about today is to find your why. Find the thing that is going to push you through those dark moments, and it's going to be kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel. So if you're really depressed, like I have been on binges where I haven't left my bed for hours at a time, only getting up to use the bathroom, and the only thing getting me up outside of that is my kids. Whether that is like, hey, I gotta get up and do better for them, or because they're at your bedside saying, Mama, want a snack, Mama, want a snack, Mama, want a snack, or something like that. But just whatever is going to pull you, even if it is physically out of that state or anxiety attack, that will be your why, your goal that you're going to envision to really push through all of those depressive, maybe suicidal, dark, deep thoughts that what can sometimes feel like are physically restraining you. And that could be your kids, that could be a house that you're wanting, that could be family members that you want to just do better for, that you want to survive long enough to care for. And don't limit yourself on this. It's not something that you should really take lightly, but at the same time, if you feel like a goal house or a dream house is something that is going to pull you out of an anxiety attack or pull you out of a deep depressive state, let that be your why. I'm not like, no one can judge you on that. If it works for you, do it. And I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. Everyone is different. Everyone is going to have different whys, different things, different triggers. There is no reason for you to judge yourself based on any of those things. So on this entire journey, please be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be easy on yourself. This is going to be a long journey. You really have to just be taking the time to work through these things so that you can be better for yourself at the end of it. And I don't want you to think that, this is going to be like a 30-day breakthrough kind of thing. My anxiety and depression journey is still ongoing and may be ongoing until the day that I die. That's just how it is. That's my life. I've kind of accepted that, and more than accepted, I'm kind of embracing it. I love learning about myself. I love finding out ways that I can make myself feel better. That's just some passions that I have. So, like I said, just be patient with yourself. Take your time with these things. There's no real reason to rush through all of these things. You really just want to get it right and do the best that you can. Be the best version of you. So that was it for the first video. I hope you guys found some helpful tidbits in here, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave that down below. I love hearing back from you guys. I need all the feedback like I can. So yeah, I guess that's it. Smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe if you feel like these are some things that you can relate to or want to hear from me in the future. And I hope you guys have a blessed day.